to talk about the type of environment that promotes resilience and breeds success. And that kind of environment is called a psychologically safe environment. And this is what it is. It's a belief that you will not be punished. You will not be humiliated for speaking up with ideas, with asking questions. You won't be humiliated for sharing concerns or for making mistakes. This is an actual study that was done by Amy Edmondson from Harvard University. And it's one of the it found that psychological safety, there were 5 factors, but psychological safety was the number one most important key to building effective teams. And so how do you really go about creating psychological safety? Well, you heard me talk about mistakes, and there's magic in mistakes. And, as athletes, we're always told we got to strive for perfection, and it's the team that makes the least mistakes that's going to win the game. And that's right in a game. But where you need to have the freedom to do that is in the practice gym and on your own and in your life. And this is the magic of mistakes. This study found that teams that made more mistakes were actually more successful than others in practice. Why? Because when you can develop an environment where people feel comfortable taking risks, and that is a key to fostering creativity. It's the key to fostering innovation, whether it's in the classroom, in the boardroom, or on the basketball court. So I found this part to be really interesting because these are the actual questions that were asked in this study about what creates a psychologically safe environment. These are things that I know you're going to talk later about, and I think that these are some pretty valuable questions to maybe practice or go over when you're talking, and to ask yourself, for yourself, do you create this kind of environment, and is this kind of environment available, and does it exist on your team? So these are the benefits of psychological safety, of creating that kind of culture where you can thrive, because simply put, athletes that feel safe within the team are going to work harder, they're going to improve faster, they're going to reach their potential quicker, and they're going to stay committed to the team, especially when it's compared to athletes in less safe environments. Well, we have an epidemic of transfer culture in Division I athletics. It is really prevalent in basketball, in men's and women's basketball. And I'm not saying that it isn't warranted at some times, but I think a lot of times people are really quick to pull the trigger and say, I need to get the heck out of here. And as teammates, we can affect that. We can affect change in their life, because I'm here to tell you, transferring is not easy. It creates a lot of turmoil in the player's life. It creates a lot of shame, and it's ideally not something that everybody really wants to do. So there are things that we can do as teammates and as leaders to try to help cultivate a culture where people want to stay and stick with it. So I just want you to know that if you've ever felt, not good enough, or felt these feelings, you're not alone. It's very common. And, in the words of Brené Brown, I mentioned her earlier, she talks about shame that's really easily understood as the fear of disconnection. Is there something about me that if other people knew it or they saw it, then they would think that I'm not worthy of connecting with? Are they going to reject me? What I can tell you about shame is that it's universal and everybody has it. If someone says that they don't experience shame, then they don't have the capacity for empathy or connection. Shame is something nobody wants to talk about it, but the less we talk about it, the more we have it. And the only thing that weakens shame, which is that feeling of not being good enough, right? We've all had that. I'm not tall enough. Coach says I'm not fast enough. I'm not a good enough defender. I don't shoot the ball well enough. All of these things, enough. I'm not blank enough. What really releases that excruciating hold of shame is being vulnerable and being able to create connection. And in order for connection to happen, we have to allow ourselves to be seen as people, as individuals, injuries and all, imperfections and all.